Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Samuel Lombardo, and I am the CEO and owner of Lombard's Christian Arts Conservatory, as well as Suave Dance Studios, LLC, and your very special SL Models and Talent Agency, LLC. And I'm also developing an online vocational school, which will soon be started in the next fall. Not this fall, but the next fall. And I'll explain more about that in just a few moments. So I have started my education at Rowan College at Burlington County in Burlington County, New Jersey, where I have had a series of associate degrees. I won't go into the full details of them, but they were basically in business administration, music education, and liberal arts. And then from there, I have taken a visit to a school that is no longer around. And I'm sad to even say that, but I was a student of Westminster Choir College of Rider University, where I have studied both at Rider University and Westminster Choir College in voice performance, as well as arts administration. I double majored and I double minored, both in music production as well as in theater. And then from there, I have taken a double standard at Rowan University, where I was accepted and also graduated in high distinction at Rowan University, and I have studied there as a double major for arts administration as well as vocal performance. And now I'm finishing up at North Central University, where I am getting my doctorate degree, DBA, in business administration with a focus of organizational leadership. And so my background basically is this. I have always sang, and my singing was related to opera, but I've also have done things in many church choirs or community choruses. I have learned several instruments. I've learned to play the piano. I have learned to play the harp. More recently, I've learned to play the ukulele, which you probably don't see it quite well. So there it is right there, hiding behind my massive production unit here. So I've learned to play that, and I've also learned to play a few other instruments as well that I'm just kind of finagling with. Not to mention that if I can get behind a drum set, I would also learn to play that. That's more or less keeping up the rhythm of any piece of music. So anyway, that's a little bit about who I am. I've started my music career since I was 8 years old, and I grew up, and that's all that I basically have done. And then my business situation really started actually when I was 18, where I didn't know really what I wanted to do, but I was just basically looking to start something. And the one thing that had caught my eye as I was sleeping or, daydreaming even, whatever the case may be, excuse me, I have learned that I wanted to build people up. Everything that I was doing was all about building people up. And so I ended up taking the course of helping different people as I'm growing up, and then I also have to grow up in my own way because I had to learn a lesson, as we all do. That will be another topic for a discussion. That will not be in this video. So, now I have decided that for models and artists, I like to build up brands. Now, that goes to answer the question, what is SLMTA? So SLMTA is the acronyms for SL Models and Talent Agency, LLC. And what we basically do is we do build up brands within the agency alone. We have decided that we were going to coincide with starting an online school for models and artists, because we don't want to have our agency being ran like a school. We wanted to try to keep everything precisely different and separate from what other agencies are doing, but also to keep the legalities of what an agency is supposed to be. And we're going to explain that in another video as well, because there are agencies out there that pull all kinds of strings and does all kinds of, even the innocent ones need to know what I'm about to tell you, but there are FTC guidelines to many things. There are also entertainment laws that you must keep intact with. So it's not just the integrity or the ethical boundaries of what you are normally aware of within the business, but you got to know about the entertainment industry and the laws surrounding that, as well as the FTC laws, so that you don't have to be blamed as a scam artist or some kind of a scam business. So that's what I'm going to try to do for you guys that want to stick around and listen to further videos of the modeling and talent industry, agency industry that I'm basically talking about right now. So SLMTA, our services are strictly related to consulting, branding, marketing, making sure that anything evolving around that is basically what you will get. Booking, management, touring, all of it, okay? And so I want to step you through the process of how it will look like between, and I'm going to do a visual as well, because I want to include another person in the video when I do this on YouTube. But basically, I'm going to give you an introduction of what it would look like if you were an artist coming in to see me. The first step that you need to do, if you are interested in the modeling industry and wanting to be booked and or managed, okay, for tours and or local bookings, the first thing you need to know is, do you have the time? Do you have the energy? Are you financially stable for any investment that you would need in case if you're traveling? And do you have what it takes to be who you say you are? And here are the things that you would need. So what we are looking for, and we have used the MatthewAgency.com example, and it's just an example of what 4 poses you would basically need as a model. Now, if you have been modeling before, then you pretty much know exactly what I'm talking about, and that's what I should be receiving. So those who are already experienced in modeling, I'm also asking you guys to come back as well, because there has been some confusion with SLMTA in the past about portfolios and what they were spending their money on and things like that. So I want to clear this up. So 2 things. One is, we are not suggesting that you have to use our photographer to get your portfolio done. But you must know how to get a portfolio done, and you must go with the right business that will do it. And I'm going to explain that in another video, because there are agencies that run like model schools, and that's where they're making their money, but there's no guarantee that you'll actually get the work. And my job is, if I'm going to be opening an agency and I want to book for you, that's how the agency makes its money. Okay? It makes its money by you doing the book, by you being booked. So I'm not going to sit here and sell portfolios to you. But the idea is that you understand that portfolios are very important for your job. So the first thing that I'm going to be asking from you guys is that you give me a letter of intent or an email of intent that you are interested to Lombardo S, as in Sierra, dot LCAC at gmail.com, and attach 4 photos of the precise poses that I'm looking for. A full pose, a headshot pose, a 2/3 pose, and a side pose. That is what all I want to see. And it doesn't matter, you can change in all 4 times if you want. If you got the time to do that, fine. But it must be raw, meaning no makeup, no mascara, none of that like putting dots on your face and trying to make yourself beautiful. We want to see you raw. With clothes, of course, but raw, with nothing fake, even if you usually wear wigs. And if you are wearing a wig or whatnot, then it must be close to your natural well-being. It cannot be something that we can notice that that's not you, if that makes sense. So be you, be raw, be casual, be professional, and know that that is what I'm going to be looking for in the photos. Once you send that, then I'm going to reply with 2 things. And yes, there will be a letter in the body to the email just saying, hi, thank you, we have received whatnot. But we're going to ask you for a photo release to be signed and then scanned back to the email, as well as a 2-page sheet that's going to have an impersonation clause, a parent and guardian clause in case if the child that is signing up is under the age of 18. And then there's going to be information. We don't ask for social security numbers at all. Okay? So you're going to sign those 2 documents and then put in the information like your address. If you got a stage name, good, put that stage name in there. We will call you, we will keep your real name confidential. Any other information that's on that page is also confidential, by the way. We have a very high confidentiality agreement with our agencies. So we don't even talk about who our clients are, even though that people are eager to want to know if we actually have clients that we work with. And then what we will do is we will develop an online bio for you. We will even start you up an Instagram where you can sign in and do whatever you want to do, unless you actually know how to develop your own fan page. But if you don't, then we will also provide that. And that is nearly free of charge as well. We're just trying to get you set up, and we're going to link it to our websites and things like that, so that when the clients or prospective clients decide that they're going to come and find someone such as yourself, you can do that. That is going to be the next step. Now, in between the step of finishing this up and you actually get in an audition or booked, whichever one, usually it is an audition, so you would be responsible to travel to your audition. If you are being booked, and we actually have a contract from the client, then before we can offer that, we would have to ask you to sign with the agency. And we are doing this only with the new fresh faces, and here's why. Because our integrity is based off of building up brands, and we want to make sure that the new people that have no experience whatsoever in the industry will have a way to trust us in the way that we are working with them. We're not going to sit there and try to lure them into a pocketbook exchange. We're not going to try to fit the wrong the wrong shoe on the wrong foot. We are literally going to do what we need to do, and if you honestly don't get booked, we could suggest to you what you need to do to prepare and actually have a better idea of getting audition, at least, if not perhaps bookings. But it's all, the bottom line is going to be how you react to that. Otherwise, it's pretty much just lost game, okay? And you would fill out these 2 forms and give us 4 photos, but nothing will actually happen from that unless we know for certain that you are being serious enough. But we are going to do our part. We're not here in the business of selling portfolios. However, we do, and I'll explain this in a very few minutes, we do have events where once a month we want to try to do what we call portfolio shoots. Now, we also have once a month open calls, and the reason that we do put a charge on this, now this isn't necessarily a charge to come see ya. This is a charge only if you want to get photos done in our backdrop as professional artists or models and or artists, bands and that kind of thing. If you're not interested in doing any professional photos at our backdrop with the red carpet, then that is okay, but we also need you to sign up or to register for the open calls, because we're going to need to know who is going to show up with this COVID-19 that's been happening. In light of that, we basically really want to limit hundreds of people going into a room at one time. So we're going to section everything off in groups of 3. So there might be 5 groups of 3 at one time, and the rest would have to stand on the outside of the door, or whatever the case may be. That's how we're going to do it open calls. But the only charge to open calls is the professional red carpet photos. And if you're going to do that, then you want to dress somewhat professional and actually have something nice that still makes you look like you, but also glamorous of yourself, male or female. The other part of the open call is setting you up with a photo shoot in case if you're not able to get the portfolios done yourself. So in other words, it's an opportunity that you can do it. We're just saying it's a service that could be available, but it's not something that you have to say, oh, so this is how I'm going to get signed. No, you're already in the process of being signed, because at the open calls, we have those 2 same forms, and I wish I have brought them with me on the video. I'll have to show you on another video. But the 2 same forms, the photo release and the analysis sheet of who you are and what you want to do and where you're going, those will be filled out right there at the open call. Okay? So then, whatever shoots you do give us, you will have to either come prepared with the 4 poses I'm talking about, or you would have to come prepared with at least $50 so that we could do it with us during that time. So that may be a direct payment to us, because we want to be sure that you have those poses, and we have a photographer that knows how to do them. in every state that we're going to. So it's it's not going to be any kind of a gimmick. The idea is that you need to have the poses when you come or when you email us. So however way you're going to do it, we need to see those 4 poses. And I really can't even stress it further than that. All right. And now, as far as the photo shoots go, once per month, that's where it's going to get a little tricky. Because we're going to actually send you out to potential clients who will actually either consider you for an audition to see who you are face to face, or to already know that they want to book you. And then you have to have a contract. So we have the contract with the client, but you're going to have to sign with us because now we actually are booking you. Okay, this is for new faces. For models and talent that's already been out there, if you're looking to do that, you could just send us a note of intent with your portfolios that you already have that you can bring to our attention, and then we would just have you sign a photo release with an agreement, and it depends whether or not you want to be exclusive or non-exclusive. But I will tell you, we would need to know exactly what agency you are dealing with if we're going to deal with third party, because we're not here to do other agencies' jobs for them. We are here to consider you and build up your brand. We're not here to we will help other agencies, and then we can split costs or split whatever they try to say that they're doing with their contracts. But the reality is that an agency should be exclusive to the artists that they're working with. Otherwise, it really does, it does get very confusing. And as a matter of fact, dealing with entertainment law and FTC guidelines, I'm not even sure if that is actually something. I know that a lot of agencies are doing these conventions with the idea of, oh, well, you can come and you can see other agencies within the convention, and then they sign up with the convention, but then if there is an agency that signs up with them, then in the meantime, they might have 6 months left with the agency that have brought them to the convention. And that could cause some issues because then the artist is paying more money out to another agency that hasn't really booked them the job to begin with. So there's some tricky spots in there. I'm just going to be very flat out and honest with you. And yes, I'm not going to lie. I will go to these conventions because I'm spotting out the type of talent that I want to spot out, but I also know the entertainment law, so it would be kind of hard for me to just simply say, oh yeah, I'm going to take care of your job for you, and assume that the artist is going to go ahead and just start paying 2 agencies for an agency that's not doing the work. All right. Now, if the agency is building up a brand, listen to this very carefully because this is where it gets a lot tricky. If an agency is building up a brand for you and their goal is to get you to the convention, now the agency is taking up what we call a school. So it'd be like going to a modeling school, even though they're saying that they're an agency, hey, sign with us so we can get you to this convention or that convention in New York or LA or whatever. And then the next thing you know, you have 14 people paying thousands of dollars out of their pocket, not only to you, but to even go to the convention. And the reality is, what is the artist getting out of it if they have to pay more money even to you just because you trained them? Training is schooling. It is not a position of an agency. An agency, that would be like me going to, like, say, Integrity, and they're going to teach me how to do the job at Amazon. When Amazon's job is to be on-the-job training. So if I don't know it, they're going to give me the training. But do you think Amazon is going to go and pay Integrity to show you how to do a job when you're not even there? So that is the reason why I'm saying, and that's a booking agency. Integrity is a booking agency for jobs, for employment. So it's no different than you being in the entertainment industry and you're asking a booking agent to basically book you positions within the entertainment industry. And they're telling you, well, I'm going to teach you how to do this, and then you're going to go over there, and you're going to be able to see everything, but you got to pay a few $1,000s to do it. So be very, 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 very careful with that. There are, and I'm saying this, and I'm also saying this for the agencies that think that they can be tricked up to be able to do it, because it is actually not a good way of doing it. You should have an education sector of your agency, and it should be separated from your actual agency as a different business. Like, call it Integrity School of Models, okay? But you cannot say that you're the Integrity Modeling Agency and then turn around and all you're doing is just building people up into this beautiful person that now you're going to take to LA or New York and expect somebody else to book them jobs. So I understand both angles. That's why I've decided that I would go to LA and or New York to go and pick talent. Why? Because, well, this agency knows how to run as an agency and will go ahead and do that. But we're not going to sit here and do someone else's work. In other words, I'm going to let you know straight up and right bluntly, SLMTA is in the business for SLMTA unless you can provide some detrimental reason why you think your agency is so important to receive any royalties from the artist of that job that another agency has done for them. And it has to be within the guidelines of the law, not just some written piece of something that you think that someone's going to be able to fool me into signing. It won't work. All right? So understand that I do understand my stuff, and I am very friendly. I don't want you to be thinking that I'm not. I'm just talking serious because I do not want SL Models and Talent Agency, LLC, to be looking like a scam or trying to commit fraud on people in ways that it is inappropriate to do so. So if you're training, call it a school, get a name for it, and get that business registered. Make sure that you're licensed and the people that you're working with are licensed. If you're an agency, make sure that the state that you're in, that you're licensed and you're an agency, and do what a booking agency is supposed to do. Now you're probably going to ask me, how does an agency get someone prepared to go to different conventions that these different companies do? And if I can't train them in the agency, here's the problem. I think the problem comes with the conventions to begin with, because the convention should know the laws between a school trainer and what an agency or manager does. Okay, and I'm not going to preach too much on this because this is a whole nother video, but I do want to rant a little bit because I feel like there are artists out there that think that this is okay. And same way with models, it's okay, you know. I understand it's normal. They consider it normal because it's been happening so much that they don't even know what the guidelines of the FTC really is or what the federal law requires of it. But the reality is this convention should be hooked up with the schools and the trainers that are then partnered signatories to agencies and things like that, like us, okay, where we can bring these people in and maybe help in a way that they could actually get the training that they need. But here's the problem. The convention's even running the same way that the agencies run, and that is that if you didn't get enough training from the agency, now you're going to go to a week-long convention and you're going to be trained out of the kazoo and try to compete with like thousands of other artists and models. Believe me, I've been there and done that as well. On the professional performing level. And it is exactly what it is. And then as you're competing for a couple hundred or so, maybe more, of agencies that are looking at you to see if you're going to be someone that they would actually accept. It's still not guaranteed even in the convention. So be very, very, very mindful of how this is set up. I honestly, my goal is to try to get this whole thing revitalized so that it does make sense and it can become an actual norm. Not just trying to, because people are literally, the reason that people are considering agencies like this a scam is because there are legitimate people out there who think that they're going to be able to get through this convention to have something great, and it turns out to be that it was just as bad as it was when they signed up with the agency and got no work until that time that they were going to a convention. So now they look a little important because they went to LA and or New York. But the reality is they didn't get paid for it. They ended up paying out of their pocket to go to it. All right? They're two way different things, which means that it is an offset cost to the agency. And if the agency is making any kind of money, it does break FTC code. Research it for yourself. I have done it. There are 9 codes for modeling and talent agencies that they watching out for. Whether you have agencies that are doing costs up front, meaning for example, it's going to cost you $25 to sign a paper with me. That is a offset cost. So what that means is that I'm making $25 for every person that signs into the agency, but I could literally say, nope, I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you, and I can go through 300 people and finally pick one, and then I made several $1,000s off of $25 on 300 people before I got the one, instead of just, giving them the chance. There are the more innocent agencies that are out there that will do this. They would turn around and try to explain to me, because I have been down that road, that instead of having upfront costs, they get all these new faces in there, and then they turn around and they're like, I feel like it's like a car show where they are literally selling you everything that you didn't even know that they actually had. It just all of a sudden popped up where this one trainer knows how to do everything about the acting career. And I've actually pulled some teeth with that one. I actually showed up to a couple of them just to find out that they were pretty much the same thing that I've learned in college. And you know me, I like to play dumb, so I'm just like, okay, I don't understand this, or I might have forgotten that, or whatever. But in a real sense, I'm sitting there like, so you want me to pay a few $100s because you claim that so-and-so, I'm not going to mention any names, actually a Oscar Award winner is working with people to build them up or whatever, and then when you research the name and then you're trying to figure out Oscar beside it, it's like they don't even know anybody in the Oscar, so let alone if they were lucky to show up at least one time to the Oscar, but then I didn't even know who the person was. And it's like, okay, this threw all kind of red flags. And I just wasn't interested in it, so I actually, in the middle of it, like, I even stopped paying. Because I was like, this isn't even worth my time, my energy, or my money for something that is already happening there. Now, if it was someone that was an Oscar Award-winning individual, and they were coming from Hollywood, or they knew someone in Hollywood, and they actually are a high professional, as they say they were, then my guess would have been that no matter how much I made pretend, they would already know that I knew my stuff. You know? So that is a couple of things that the FTC looks at. Whether you're forcing them to use your photographer, whether you're trying to do sale pitches, whether you're trying to guarantee something that you cannot guarantee. If you are set up to the point where it only takes you one day and you run away, because believe me, there were agencies like that. Oh, well, I just moved down the road. Okay, well, but the address is still the same. The phone number has switched so many times, you can't even keep up. There are different types of red flags that come up, like a lot of inconsistencies. So, and then the new one is this new innocent trick that is going on right now, and that is agencies that are allowing their potential best talent to go to conventions. And they're doing all kinds of different tricks, like, well, we'll give, you're going to spend, like, say, $5,000, but I'm going to still make $1,000. It costs $3,000 to go, and it'll be like $1,000 coming back, but in reality, I'm going to get $2,000 because whatever, like, you know, they give you money back or whatever as a rebate or something like that. Well, the point is that I'm really getting at here is that regardless of the situation, the convention should have a way of getting the people in. And if they are doing the same thing that the agency is doing, and it's all schooling, and then it ends with the competition with actually competing for an agency to find you, then you need to separate those even in the convention. This is why I believe that a lot of agencies, well, there's a lot of agencies hooked with the unions as well, but if you're not in the union, it's because you have all these fees with mandatory qualifications from conventions that are conflicting with unions. And if they're conflicting with a union, 9 times out of 10, it's probably not going to be right. So you got to figure out where it's conflicting with the unions and try to fix that problem. And I've already told you a few hints as to what I think is conflicting, but you're going to have to figure that out. So these are all the services and some of the knowledge that I know about what a booking agency is in the entertainment industry versus what a school is, and that's pretty obvious. Just some people, they don't realize it, and they mess it up with their services when they are providing them. Is it okay to do photo shoots? Sure. But don't say that it has to be done with your agency, because it doesn't have to be done with any particular agency. You could suggest that this, and this you get with it. But if it's going to be something that you are forcing people to sign with you on, or say they do sign with your agency and all of a sudden they got a $900 bill and they don't know why. First of all, that is complete fraud, and it's worse than a scam. It's like frauding you in front of your face. You don't want to deal with an agency like that. There is no reason why you have to sign a slip, sign a contract, hey, we're going to be your agent, and then turn around and you get a bill for $900. First of all, I would be laughing at it, ripping it up, and throwing it in the trash, because you couldn't even collect on something like that. Not when you're actually forcing someone and it is actually like a fraud situation. You would be sitting in a courtroom for hours fighting on this one person's signature and how you just hooked them with a bill from a company that should not even be billing, when they are signing up and they don't know nothing else about what happened. So if you're one of those that do that, just run away from that company. If you are a company where it's where there's 30 minutes of orientation, like what I'm doing right now with SL Models and Talent Agency, and you're so confused about, well, am I gonna have to like get with that agency and get my portfolio done, then that is something that you want to run away from as well, because here's the problem. You can sign with the agency, but if they're spending about 30 minutes on all they're talking about is sales pitches of what they are doing, and there's a cost behind it, then what it is they're teasing you with a cost and using reverse psychology to get you to think that is important for you to do. When in reality, you can actually get your portfolio shoots by just being booked with the poses that I'm telling you about, that I told you in the beginning of this video. We should be able to get you booked for at least one thing. I'm not saying that it's a guarantee, no, so I don't want you to be tricked with that. But if you get booked for at least one job as a model, you already have your portfolio right there. What more of a portfolio would you need? And you also have a resume forming, because it is a job that you got booked for. If you do the audition, it's just the same, really. Of course, yeah, you would have to, you have to invest in this way. If they tell you, we want to see you in Dallas, Texas for a prom dress shoot, then you got to be sure that, first of all, make sure that you want to do it and that you can get down there for that time. If you have all that cleared out of the way, then figure out if your finances meet that you can get down there. If you got that out of the way, then pretty much you're pretty much set. All you need to do is just look as beautiful as you possibly can for this prom dress. And I can almost tell you that somebody in that crowd is going to get picked for that shoot. In the meantime, you have been shoot already. You have been shot with those photos. So you could actually, and I have done this in the past myself, ask for any of the photos that are there because there is a photo release. And one of the things that our agency does, and no other agency that I know of has actually done this as a qualification for their clients, and that is having the clients sign the photo release for any of their artists or models of which they're working for. Because for me, I would like to know, even if it's just an audition, that you have done an excellent job. If they're only looking for one and there's 300 of you there, you know, at least I know that 299 of you have made the attempt. One did get the job. Okay, well, congratulations. But then there's more to fit in your portfolio. But in your resume, you want to talk about auditioning because you hadn't really been booked. Okay? And when it comes to an agency, when you said, don't say in your resume that you have been booked with an agency. No, you have been signed with an agency. But if you're a new face coming into SL Models and Talent Agency, you are not signed to SL Models and Talent Agency until you have either gotten picked for an audition or actually have been booked. But the reason that we ask for the photo release is because the photos that you do give us for the bio that we're going to set up in your fan page and all, we are doing that so that there is something that the clients can look at. Otherwise, without the photo release, we can't really do nothing with you. We can basically look at your photos and say, hey, congratulations, you got something there, but I'm not your bank, I'm not your employer. What I actually am is an agency to send you out to something, but if there is no photo release, then I have no way of releasing your photos to the people that should be seeing them. So that is the responsibility that you as the artist and or model has. And for some of you, this is just easy knowledge. You should already know it. But I wanted to add in there how these scams are happening. And yes, they are actually scams, and some of them are a complete fraud. The difference between the scam and the fraud is that the scam can literally pick up and go whenever they want. The fraud one is more or less, it's more or less why we have the definition that you need to sign on the bottom of the analysis sheet, saying that you will not impersonate, thinking that you are a model with the agency. You're not until you sign a contract with the agency that you are exclusive to us. That's how that works. The 2 pieces of paper of the information that you're going to be filling out is to give us the opportunity of your sizes and your waist and everything that we need to know about you and things like that, so that we can actually start working with you to get the jobs that you want, whether they be auditions to get the job or that you actually have the job. All right. And then I want to throw in here for the last 12 minutes of this hour segment some events that we are doing. So some of the events that we are doing, I've already mentioned 2 of them, but once a month we will be doing open calls. And if you already have the 4 poses, you're fine. You bring them with you. They don't have to be professionally done. As a matter of fact, I would rather you just send them via email so that we already have them. We can save them, download them, and actually put it toward your bio. Okay? If you show up and we ask you for the 4 poses, and we will do that, okay, any staff member is going to ask, do you have the 4 poses necessary for your bio? They say no. If you say no, then what we are going to ask is 1 or 2 options. You can fill the paperwork out here and go through the audition open call process, and then it will cost you $50 to get all the 4 shots done by the photographer on standby here. Or you can try to see if you can find someone that is cheaper than $50 that can do the same poses. But it must be the poses that it is. And if you do it that way, then all of your audition would have to be online as well. Because right now, what we are looking at are people that are actually serious. Nobody that's going to say, yes, I'm going to do this, and then I'm waiting 6 months later and it hasn't happened, and then all I'm getting is backlash about, like, how they were doing all this and doing all that, but the reality was nothing was given to me, so I couldn't say either way, okay? And you got to be very careful with that impersonation clause, because it works both not only with someone pretending to be you, but it also works with you pretending that you're signed with us when you're technically not signed with us, unless you are an experienced model and or artist. Meaning that you were in a union, or you have already had many jobs that we know that clients would actually be taking you up, like, instantly. That's how we know that you're an experienced model. Like, all I gotta do is just go to Vogue and I can see your picture. Okay? Something like that. Excuse me. The other event that we have going on is the once a month we're going to be doing actual portfolio shoots, and this is an opportunity where you can show off your creative side of being the most beautiful male or female or little girl or little boy in your way. And yes, the portfolio shoot packages start at $350, where it's an hour long. You also get coaching, and you also get your hair and makeup done with it, but it is up to 2 changes, okay? Meaning that you could take the 2 best looks, whether it's gothic and bohemia, or if it's a prom dress versus gothic, or whatever the case may be, it's your 2. And then we would go ahead and take care of that. We are also having September. We're starting this September 1st. We will be starting, we tried it in July and all that, and it didn't work. We're going to try to see what we could do in September here. But you're going to have 3 months to decide. It costs $125. Yes, it is an upfront cost. But it's not for you to be signed with the agency. It's for fun, and it is for a good cause. It's for the COVID-19 response. Also, we are looking at helping other nonprofit agencies. And we would like to make this worldwide, but we're going to see what the outcome will be. But Artist Gala Competition Online is anything from movies that you could create, screenwrites that you could create, your dance moves, online competition with your music, if you have a band, anything, modeling. Everything is outlined very specific. I'm not even going to talk more about it. At the bottom of the link here, you will excuse me, at the bottom of the video, you will see the link to what you want to do in regards to the Artist Gala competition online. And yes, it is $125, but like I said, it's for a good cause, and it is, and everything is outlined on the competition website. All right. The other thing that we are doing, it was scheduled for November 28th, 2020. It is now moved to August 22nd, 2021 at DeVos Place. It's right there in the convention center. We are doing a masquerade, red carpet masquerade ball. There will be photography packages. There will be free food for all, unlimited drinks. You can purchase VIP packages where you can stay for the weekend. There's an after party that will be done. Several things. I am getting with a pop singer who was going to that we were going to sign for the November one. So we are going to see that she would be available in August for that date. And if so, we will have a pop singer, and I think we're going to have two. Because I know one actually already confirmed. There's another one that we're going to have to reevaluate to find out if she's going to be available. So, in any case, if you just decide that you want to go to the masquerade ball, the ticket prices actually are $150. And you would have to dress in formal wear, okay? It would be a very nice, beautiful date night or honeymoon night or whatever the case may be. It's going to be a perfect time for the Grand Rapids region to actually have it. At least November starts to get cold. So that's some of the events that we do have going on as of right now. We will be opening a couple of YouTube channels where the one YouTube channel is going to have this video. I'm also going to be doing Facebook Live videos, but we would also like to provide as much information as we could because we want to guide you in a way of how you want to assert yourself with an agency and or an agent. Now, just real quick in the last couple of minutes that I have for this video with you guys, the fees that we have besides the portfolio, if you decide that you're going to do that, the fees that we have are that $50 fee if you come to an open call and you don't have your own photos, and we could do them for you. But there's a 20% agency fee, and that is usually done with the client, with our client who would be booking you or whatever, usually booking you because that's when we're negotiating money, okay? And we're pretty good with that. If it's one thing that I know is how to negotiate and make things fair. So it's 20% with the agency fee, but because of, even before I even started these videos, people from everywhere were asking me about what SL Models and Talent Agency was. And so now you kind of know what we do, but also why we think you are important to us, because that is what is very important. If I don't have that mindset, then unfortunately nothing is going to work in this business. So you are very important to us. Now, we do have to hire agents within the agency. The agents get 10% of the artist and or models pay. And that is usually normal. If you've ever modeled before, you know what I'm talking about. It's an agent fee for them doing the work, making sure it's usually like the calculations, the managing part of things and all that. But the agency representation is that. Now, we also have a program for anyone that wants to become our client, that you could pay a certain amount each month to be our, what we call, signatory for SLMTA, and that will skip the 20% every time that you want to book somebody. We will actually do that. So it depends on a few things, criteria. If you want to learn about that, just comment down below as well. And another thing that I want to tease you guys on, that I want to mention, is yes, I am a travel agent. I was thinking about giving it up at one point because I'm too busy with the SL Models and Talent Agency and many other things that are going on in my life. But I want to give you guys the opportunity. If you think that you want to grow a team and you want to enjoy free travel, also get paid for your own travel, or maybe you just don't want to join my team and you just want to have cheaper travel, then you can book your travel through me. Either way, we are looking for people with IntelliTravel to actually sign people or to book their travel for them. Those links will be below this video as well. And if you're interested in developing your own team, then you will just enter in a comment, interested, learn more. And that's about all that I need to know about that one. Everything else is pretty much self-explained. If you have any questions about this video, put them in the comments down below as well, and I'll be more than welcome to answer them. It is a little over an hour now of this video, but I really wanted to give you the full detailed message of what SLMTA does and what an agency is versus going to an agency and finding out that it seems like you're going to school. All right. And remember, agencies, if you are building someone up or training them, it is a school. Schools train, agencies book. Got it? Good. See you soon.